This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Friday, November 10th, 2023. I know it's a day early, but happy Veterans Day to those who have served our country. So glad you could join us for today's episode. In today's episode of Ag Matters PM, I talk with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson and Jeff Cook of Fareway about a recent donation that they partnered together for to the Food Bank of Iowa, as well as other food banks across the state. We also have a check of that ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
At the end of another trading day in the ag marketplace, we're talking with Kurt Kimmel of agmarket.net. First off, Kurt, this is the day after the WASDE report. How are those grain markets looking today?
Well, stable. Corn may need some new lows in through here. I'm going to close a little lower here today, but stable is the best we can do. But overall, if you step back and look at the big picture, corn production was 15.2 billion bushels. That's a record number of bushels of production. But yet we handled it fairly well this fall. I mean, the elevator didn't shut down for 2 or 3 days, and because they were plugged of bushels coming in, it's a little bit of drying. So we've handled it fairly well. Ending stocks is 215. It's not 25 or higher. It's manageable, but the pressure is going to be on the demand side, as everyone knows. I don't know if anybody mentioned, but the quarterly grain stocks will be a big event because that'll really give us an idea of first quarter usage and really tell us how we're moving this crop out or using it for the most part. You got to remember, big crops, you have bigger demand. The function of the economic guys is lower prices stimulates demand, like higher prices curbs demand back. So enough with the economic news. We did see some pretty good buying this week in soybeans, particularly. Talked to China, purchased up to 3 to 3.5 million metric tons. Big shout out to veterans. I know tomorrow's Veterans Day, but the USDA was shut down in order to recognize Veterans Day. Thank you for your service, but the USDA will probably come out and announce another 400 or 500,000 tons of beans being sold to China on Monday, since today was a day off for them. So keep those Chinese beans purchases on the books here. Weather-wise, we're watching that South American forecast. They'll continue to see too dry in the north, too wet in the south. That's expected to maybe change a little bit on this 10-day forecast on out. Short term, we'll continue to see the same type of pattern. Sunday night, Monday morning can be big according to that forecast. Government's at 162 Brazilian bean production, up in that 160 area, but some of the private guys are down to 155. So we're getting to the point of no return. Also, too, what's been well advertised is the kind of logistic makeup of crop rotations and so forth. Later goes in, the later the corn goes in, or if we plant cotton, that's more of a full season. So there's a lot of moving parts in that southern hemisphere we need to keep an eye on. The other thing too, export-wise, huge record amount of meal sales, meal exports, meals just flying out of the country here. And what we're seeing is some DDG replacement strategies. DDG sales are just huge. So when you look at the supply-demand balance sheet and see ethanol, I wonder if we're not really crushing or grinding for the DDGs at this point in time. That's been a huge market in here short term. So even though corn sales just aren't big direct, some of the products are. Also, too, you got to remember, though, if meal continues to stay firm in through here, we need some other type of alternative things in the feed ration. Friday here, going home, commodity funds sold about 9,400 contracts of corn, 2,200 contracts of wheat and about 2,500 contracts of soybeans going into midday. And so, they pretty well push the selling here. And they're still fairly short in corn and wheat and still slightly long in the soybean complex. Also, too, we've seen some baseline projections come out as we look on into the future from the USDA. These are just projections, but with this report behind us and looking forward, this 24 production, we've got 23. We need to decide what we're going to do if this 24 production. If we cut acres and we see trend line yield 181 bushels an acre and keep demand a little bit on the positive side here, next year's corn carryout, the 24 crop could be 2.6 billion bushels. So just looking down the road here, might want to start looking at 24 strategies to put some price floors in. Overseas wise, the Black Sea region, the markets are starting to become numb to any type of news with Russia and Ukraine, but don't let that back burner go completely cold on you, because one of these days we'll probably see some fireworks there. On the week, technically, talked about this seasonal up. We're moving contra-seasonal. Commercial-wise, grain guys are looking at still wanting to be buyers here for the next week or two to get some inventory in, but the future market wants to go lower instead of higher. On the weekly chart, corn closed down 13 1/4 cents on the week. We need to get this corn back above 470 here to get the technical guys to be buyers. Soybeans finished 4 1/4 on the week lower, and that recorded a weekly price reversal down. So we're kind of retracing this little up move we've had here over the last week or two. Wheat futures down 1/2 cent. December Chicago wheat has some resistance here at $6. We got a nice little uptrend going in wheat. So for those who believe wheat will lead, we'll welcome the wheat to pick up here.
Then, of course, the livestock markets have been taking it pretty well on the chin here recently. How do those prices look today?
Well, for livestock guys, I guess this sell-off in the corn and wheat for the most part is an opportunity to book some needs. The meal-wise, they're still scratching their head on inputs for feed use for the most part. But we don't want to talk about the meats, particularly cattle. That's, down $9.70 on the week on the weekly chart. Last week we saw a reversal down, and Monday we came in here and the old market gap lower and down. We went just talking about more placements. Demand's questionable. On the weekly sales, 13.6. Hogs held in there. They were up 15 cents on the weekly chart. On the hogs, we did have a weekly price reversal to the downside in the works, but we're able to close fractionally higher here, so hopefully we avoided that. Hog, still looks good on the charts as a V bottom. We just need to see demand pick up in through here. And we saw that yesterday. We saw over 49 on the weekly sales. Corn export, or not corn, but hog exports, pork exports, and China was a big buyer, over 13 of it. So a little more optimism in the pork, but beef has just been a complete washout.
Kurt, lots of great information today. For those of our listeners who'd like to get in touch and learn more from the folks at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Agmarket.net, click on Intel, and it'll take you to our information center there. Or you can call us here in Normal, Illinois at 1-800-779-1515.
Great talking with you as always, Kurt. We look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Very good. Take care.
That again was Kurt Kimmel of agmarket.net. We'll go ahead and take a look at how those numbers close. That's courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. At the close, December corn down 4 even at 464 even. November soybeans up 5 3/4 at 1333 1/2. December soybean meal down 50 cents at 449.40. December soybean oil up 75 at 51.20. Chicago wheat down 5 1/2 at 575 1/4. Minneapolis spring wheat down 4 even at 730 1/2. Kansas City hard red wheat down 7 1/4 at 640 even. December oats up 13 3/4 at 346 3/4. On the Merc, December live cattle down 17 at 174.17. November feeders up 72 at 229.72. December lean hogs up 45 at 71.90. Pork cutout up 70 at 82.05. And November class 3 milk down 3 cents at 17.09. And that's been a check of the markets here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I have coverage of that donation to the Food Bank of Iowa. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. This week, Fareway and the Iowa Farm Bureau partnered up to make a donation of 57,000 pounds of protein to the Food Bank of Iowa, part of their Meet the Need campaign. Had the chance to first off talk with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson about the partnership that they have with Fareway, as well as how this donation fits into their grand mission. All right, we are here with Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson at the Food Bank of Iowa. Now, the Farm Bureau has partnered with the Fareway to make a massive donation to the Food Bank of Iowa. I believe we have 57,000 pounds of meat here today. Obviously, a huge donation, and it comes at a great time where the need for high quality protein is greater than ever. So, just walk us through a little bit, Brent, on this partnership you guys have with Fareway and just how this fits in with your guys' mission as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. We've partnered with Fareway on a few different programs, but this one specifically, Meet the Need. It's a partnership with Fareway where there was a match to purchased meat, and to be able to offset some of that percentage of purchased meat, donate it to the food banks of Iowa so that we can distribute high quality protein across the entire state at a time when high protein is really needed in the food bank system. It's a real shame that we even have this conversation today about food insecurity and things, but here we are. And so the Iowa Farm Bureau and our members are constantly looking for solutions, and this partnership with Fareway and the food banks of Iowa accomplishes that goal of taking care of our farm families, our small rural communities, and making sure that those food needs are met wherever we are in the state.
And of course, just such a great opportunity. How did this partnership start with Fareway, of getting that conversation started and then deciding that this donation was the course of action that you guys wanted to take?
Yeah, well, we're always brainstorming different ideas, and our work with Fareway goes back a long ways. It started very simply with the Real Meat campaign and portraying many of our farm families across the state. You've probably seen some of them on some of the Fareway trucks and just various different programs along the way. And when the food bank said that we have a shortage of meat, of protein, we worked with Fareway to come up with a solution, and here we are with the Meet the Need program.
And then, not only does it come at a time where the demand for that high-quality meat is high, we're also approaching the holiday season where a lot of people who are potentially not going to be able to afford that holiday meal. And if they're able to go to a food bank and, get that protein to maybe just get a little bit more enjoyment out of what can be a stressful time, that's one of those things. It's why not? Why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. The holiday season is a great way to showcase the high quality foods that are grown right here in this state. And so to be able to take some of our production that we're so good at in this state, and we're known worldwide for the ability to grow high quality foods, and to provide a little sense of comfort at the time of Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the holiday seasons, and to put those two pieces together. I mean, this campaign it's timely, and it's a perfect meet of that need.
And then just looking at thinking about last year with this donation, we had another Meet the Need donation from Fareway, and of course it was a similar donation. But to be in here and see this donation physically, and of course that's thanks to the new expansion they have here at the food bank, that they're able to hold this much product now. But to see just how many boxes are stacked around us right now, and showing exactly how much product that is, I think really kind of puts in perspective just how big of a donation this is.
Yeah, it really does. There's 2 trucks being unloaded right now into this very large warehouse, and the distribution network that the food bank has across in all 99 counties is an important part of the aspect of distributing this high quality protein.
Brent, thanks for taking the time to visit with us today. Anything else our listeners and viewers should know about when it comes to this donation or anything else you guys have coming up this holiday season?
You know, the Iowa Farm Bureau always has so many programs going on that fit so many different parts of rural communities and farmers and agriculture's life. You know, go to iowafarmbureau.com. I'm really proud of our members across the entire state, 156,000 family members, and you know, there's so many good stories to tell. Not only are we the top in production across so many different commodities, but we're doing it the right way. We also lead in conservation in so many different programs, you know, waterways, cover crops, there's so many good stories, not only in volume of production, but in process of production. And I couldn't be prouder to be leading this organization.
Also had the chance to visit with Jeff Cook of Fareway to talk about their side of the donation, as well as other donation efforts they're making to fight hunger in the state of Iowa. Jeff, just talk us through this donation and just kind of why you guys landed on the Food Bank of Iowa as that spot you wanted to donate to.
They've always been a great partner, and we want to support the need of the families in the 55 communities that this food bank supports. But it's always meaningful for us. Fareway, you know, we're a food company, and we're certainly about family. Fareway family is always a huge concept that we speak very proudly of. And for us to be able to give a little bit back, especially right before the holidays, just a great opportunity to partner with our friends at the Iowa Farm Bureau to make this donation happen today.
And I just talked with Brent Johnson, and that was a big thing that we tried to touch on, was that we are approaching the holiday season. There's going to be a lot of people who not only need that high quality protein, but they're just looking for something to have for a meal during the holiday season. So in a time where maybe there might be extra stress from trying to find that meal, having this extra protein available for them to make a nice holiday meal, is obviously very much a blessing for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And to have, like you said, a nutritious and warm meal, it's just a great opportunity for us to be able to give back to that. And hopefully the small donation, 57,000 pounds, will stretch. We were just talking to the food bank. They're going to be able to limit it, and hopefully this will take out about 6 weeks. So that gets us right through the holiday season. So I know we're going to already start on next year to work with this campaign, and hopefully we can make it bigger and better than the one we have here today.
Great to hear that next year, those words being used already, because you guys were here last year making the donation, and obviously, you guys have been able to see as well just how far this donation reaches and how many people it can impact.
Yeah, and not only this one, but with the Iowa Farm Bureau, this donation today will hit all 99 counties in the state of Iowa. So even, warms the heart a little bit more, making sure that we can help those that just need a little lift, or like you said, a little support going into the holiday season, that we can just be a little part of that and hopefully make somebody's day a little bit better.
Let's talk about how great it is to have that partnership with the Farm Bureau, because as you guys are probably very aware, you can't just do it all by yourself. You need to have that partnership, and everybody needs to work together to fight, food insecurity in the state.
Yeah, and we do a lot with them. I know Brent mentioned the Cram the Cab event that we do a lot of our stores at the local county level. Any way we can do that, and food insecurity is big, and as they stated earlier, that it's bigger now than it was even during the pandemic. So anytime we can get together and get the Fareway family together and put the efforts behind a donation like this, it's an awesome event.
And, speaking of those other food pantry events that you guys take care of, obviously the fight against food insecurity isn't just, from one donation. It's an ongoing battle all the time. What are some other events you guys have coming up, especially as we get further into the holiday season or just into next year, that you guys are just looking forward to being able to support with?
Well, those are obviously the specific ones we talk. You never know when a new opportunity comes up, that we're approached all the time, and we try to share our resources and make it the best we can possible. But like I said, this being year 2 and the growth that we've had this event alone, we're going to put a lot of focus on that. This is the first year that we brought our friends from the Iowa Farm Bureau on. So to see it improve from a year ago, we'll put a lot of focus on this one. And then, like I said, the Cram the Cab events that they do, a lot of our local stores are really getting behind that. So at the local county level, we continue to see that increase, and we'll see more and more of those every year. And it's almost become a friendly competition amongst our stores on who can do better. So those are probably the primary ones. But even to support at the local store and county level is really important to us.
Of course, that competition is always good to see competition in an effort like this. So looking forward to seeing your guys' efforts continue those donations for next year. And Jeff, just thanks for taking the time to visit with us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It was great to be here.
That again was Iowa Farm Bureau President Brent Johnson and Jeff Cook of Fareway. Let's go ahead and take a look at that ag weather outlook. Hopefully you're enjoying this fall weather that we've been getting. It's turning a little bit colder, but it's still, I would say, pleasant fall weather for the most part. Guess it really depends on your cold tolerance for this time of year. Looking into this weekend, chances for rain across the state in some areas, but otherwise, just looking at partly cloudy skies and those crisp fall temperatures. So let's see what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see from the National Weather Service, today we have mostly sunny skies and a bit cooler temps, with those highs ranging from the mid-40s to low 50s. Tonight will be variably cloudy and cold, with lows ranging from the upper 20s to low 30s. And tomorrow will be partly sunny and similarly crisp temperatures, with a slight chance for rain in the northwest, highs ranging from the upper 40s to mid-50s. And taking a look at the affiliate weather map for tomorrow, Cherokee will be mostly sunny with a slight chance for rain, a high of 53. Shenandoah, partly cloudy, high of 54. Des Moines, increasing clouds and a high of 52. Waterloo, partly sunny, high of 50. Albia, partly sunny and 52. Clinton, mostly cloudy and 49. For a more detailed forecast in your part of the state, make sure to check in with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. If you're not sure who your local affiliate is, check out our website at iowaagnet.com. We have a list of the affiliates on there, as well as our 5 daily ag news stories, and you can sign up for our newsletter to get those conveniently delivered to you every day. Find us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and LinkedIn, and find our video content as well as previous episodes of AMPM on our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell to see when those videos go live. Don't forget as well our free Twice Daily Market podcasts on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Mark Magnuson, Andy Peterson, and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.